Brandon, I'll start with you. Do the Rams now become instant Super Bowl contenders next season with Matt Stafford under center?
Yeah, Jenna, I think so. The Rams are in a win-now mode every single year. McVay has never had an opportunity to utilize the number one pick since Goff. Goff, that was the last time they had a first rounder. Yep. Now you move forward. The next time you'll be able to pick in the first rounder, as of now, is in 2024. So that tells you their attitude and their approach. They have everything they need to get the job done. Matthew Stafford, I wouldn't call him elite, because when you think about elite guys make everyone better, and he just transform the organization. He didn't do that in Detroit, but he has elite skills. This dude is still legit. I talked to Kenny Galladay last night, and I said, man, can this dude still get it done? And he said, absolutely. This dude is still a monster. He can make all the throws, and he's relatable, and he's a great leader. You cannot, if you're the Rams, waste what you have on that defensive side. We hear it all the time. Defense wins championships, Nick, and you have two of the best that is doing it at a high level right now in the National Football League. So you can't waste those guys. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald on that side. Go get Matthew Stafford. Great job. Now go get it done and make your run.
So, Brandon, you always call me our resident GM, right? You always say you're our resident player, I'm the resident GM. The resident GM part of me has some reservations. Now, the analyst says they're better. They're without a doubt better. They were going to go into next season with the worst quarterback in their division. You can't do that. You now have, even if Stafford is just the 12th best quarterback in football, that's a massive upgrade from our friend Jared Goff, and it gives them a chance to compete. So I understand why you would make this move. But Les Snead is trying to run a football team in a different way than any team has ever been run in the history of the league.
Right.
Maybe it'll work, but it is risky. Here are 6 names: Stafford, Ramsey, Donald, Kupp, Woods, Whitworth. Those 6 players are $110 million of their cap next year. You then add Goff and Gurley's dead money, who aren't on the team. That's $30 million. So we're now at $140 million of a cap that's going to be about $180 for 6 guys. So you're going to have $40 million for your other 45 players. That's tough. And it also leaves no margin for injury, and you can't recoup it with young talent in the draft, because, as Brandon mentioned, they are going to go from Jared Goff in 2016 until 2024, 2 presidential terms, without a first-round pick. So it is a massive swing. I understand why they did it, because they thought they could not win with Goff, and Goff's contract was a disaster. But these swings catch up to you eventually, Wilds. He swung on Brandon Cooks, then ended up trading him away. You Todd Gurley, you pay him early, you cut him. Jared Goff, you pay him early, you trade him away. So I think they are better. I also think it is an incredibly risky way to run a franchise if you care at all about future you.
Yeah, so do you like it, Nick? That's my question, because I do. I think we see so many teams planning for the future. The Packers are planning for the future. The Patriots are always planning for the future, and it kind of bit us this year. So for me, if I'm Aaron Donald, if I'm Jalen Ramsey, I'm like, yeah, I like this kind of stars and everybody else concept. The problem is this. We saw Aaron Donald get some bruised ribs, and that was it. They were cooked. There is no sort of next man up philosophy. So me personally, I like it. Do you like the philosophy, Nick? Take your analytics resident GM brain out of it. And just like personally, do you like this team going all in?
I prefer this method, Brandon, than the teams that always say we can't do anything, we're hamstrung, we're up against the cap. I would prefer this extreme to the other extreme. But I do think there's an argument to be made that somewhere in the middle, not going nearly a decade without first-round picks and not having such a top-heavy roster, because Wilds is right. They can't sustain an injury, Brandon. They are at the top of the list of teams that cannot sustain an injury.
I think the biggest challenge is managing the cap, right? So everything you said there, you have 6, 7 guys, and that's where most of your money's going. So how do you continue to build depth? How do you continue to bring in younger players and that can develop them and that you want to keep around? But I absolutely love this as a player. Like, this draft pick, this first-round draft pick may not help us this year. So going out and getting an established quarterback, an established corner, an established wide receivers mean more. The Rams have the mentality that they're always going to be picking in the 20s, 22, 23, maybe hell, even 28 to 32. Because in 2018, they went to the Super Bowl. So what is that draft pick worth? So I love the attitude and approach of let's get away from these first-round picks that may not be able to do anything for us. Those first-round picks at the end of the draft, they're hit or miss. So going out and getting a veteran that's already established and can help you right now, I love it. I think this team is doing the right thing, and I think more people should follow suit.
The other thing that you said at the very beginning that I just want to revisit quickly is once we get past the trade, what this does turn into is something of a referendum on Matt Stafford. Has Matt Stafford been a good stats, bad team guy, or has he been a guy who the only reason he's on a bad team is because it's the Lions? It wasn't his fault. And if you put him with a good coach, McVay, I think it is, an organization that'll spend money, obviously the Rams are that, you're going to see what his career could have been. Because this is a big bet on a player who has precisely 0 wins that any of us remember. Now, I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying it's an unknown, but it's a big bet on a player without a track record of anything other than a lot of empty yards. So we'll see if that was about the Lions or about Stafford.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.